hair, the look, the voice was very soft and high. And I was like, ooh, really? My guy or girl here? I don't even know. But like I said, at least I get to play characters like that. So. Yes?
Did you have any problems finding your voice? Like for different characters, then switching back and forth?
You know what's funny is that if you're lucky enough to get to do a lot of different characters, if you're working on them at the same time, well then there's a danger that you kind of get them mixed up. Or more times than not, if you've only done a character, like let's say, let's see, what would be a good example? Let's say a character like Death Sight in Soul Eater. He shows up, and then like he's not there for a while. So a period of time goes by before you record again. We'll record a couple episodes at a time. So we'll come in and I'll record all the lines for Death Sight for Soul Eater in a few days, and then I'll leave and I'll go, I won't come back to do Soul Eater until the next set of episodes, right? Well, in between that time, I've done like 15 different projects. So I don't even remember, like, what did I even do for this character? I can't remember anymore. So the studio engineer usually will play what they call a reference track. Like his full bunk cutting, right? With the big blades and stuff. He looked amazing. And I got him up on stage, and I got him to actually do the dance while I sang the dance. He looked so great. It was awesome. I want to cosplay as Ikuku sometime. Somebody made me the robes, and I don't think I would ever have the guts to shave my head. But I may get like a bald cap and do it sometime. I have to do that. Absolutely. And the little red eyeliner. Little red shadow. Question, he's got a question. Yes, sir.
Yeah, well, you got a great head of hair, don't cover it.
Well, thank you.
Where did you train? Where did you train? Where did you voice train? Did you do it professionally, or did you just... or did you know acting? You know what? I don't know.
That's a great question, because I'm sure there are probably... What? That's a great question, because I know there are probably a lot of you that are probably interested in voice acting or acting in some form. Here's the answer to the question. I never trained as a voice actor, but I have a great deal of training and experience as an actor.
Okay.
And that's the key, you guys. Anybody interested in voice acting? The operative word in voice acting is acting. Almost every voice actor I know has a huge amount of experience as an actor. Some of them have degrees in theater. They've spent a lot of time developing their skills as an actor. In fact, I'll go to one better. How many of you are old enough to remember when English dubs were really bad? Years ago. Wait, you're not. Years ago, you guys, they were pretty lame.
Yeah.
Do you know why they were so lame? Because they used to hire radio guys to dub them into English. Because they were thinking, the people that were making them at the time were thinking, we need people who are good in front of a microphone, who are articulate, and you know, first thing that came to mind, radio. DJs, announcers, right? Commercial guys, they know all about recording and microphones. So they would hire these guys to dub anime. Well, the problem, obviously, is what?
They don't act.
They're not actors. So when you get to these very dramatic moments in a story, well, that's just not what they do. You know, I'm very sad today. My mother just died and I can't take it anymore. So at some point in time, some producers somewhere said, hey, let's try hiring actors. They may not have the big, resonant, rich, warm tones of a voiceover guy, but maybe they can bring like an extra performance. And then ADV went out of business. So they lost the license to Sergeant Frog. And Funimation picked up the license to Sergeant Frog. and they went back to the beginning and wiped the whole slate clean and started over with all new actors in the role. And my friend Todd Haberkorn is playing Sergeant Frog now. And I mean, he's doing something completely different, but every time I hear it, I just remember how much fun we had doing our version. And we had recorded like 15 episodes, you guys. I mean, we were well into it, and we were so loving it. I bought toys. I bought Sergeant Frog toys for everybody in the cast, and we had them sitting all around the studio. And I mean, we were having so much fun. But that happens sometimes, you know? You lose a show. How many of you know a show called Gurren Lagann? You know that show?
Yes.
That was another show that the ADV had when they went out of business, and I was playing this character named Viral. Really bad dude, and so much fun. And when they went out of business, a company in Los Angeles picked up Gurren Lagann and started over from scratch, and just recast the whole thing. So those kind of things happen sometimes. You know, you lose fun opportunities, but if you're fortunate, you gain other opportunities. How are you doing on time?
So the loss for Star Search. Their loss.
What?
So their loss for Star Search and good for, you know.
Exactly. Had I won Star Search, who knows? Thank you. Had I won Star Search, I probably wouldn't be here, getting to hang out with you guys. Yes?
It's very important.
Very important. If you get those two, we're good. Question? Yes?
Do you prefer recording voices or doing a concert?
Oh, don't ever make me choose that. I love everything I do. So I try to figure out ways to do everything I do. Like I love graphic design. So I'm always looking for things to design. My degree is actually in film. So I know I have a college degree in shooting and editing and directing and camera and lighting and all that kind of stuff. I love that kind of stuff. But one of the weirdest things I was ever given was a piece of somebody's hair. Like a lock of hair. Like not a strand of hair, like a chunk of hair. They put it in an envelope and gave it to me at a convention, and I was like,
Was it real?
There's another, I have to tell you something that's funny. I've never told this before. There's a guy who always loves to bring voice actors food that he makes. He's very proud. He's very proud that he makes amazing things. Here's the problem. Every time he brings you food, every time he brings a voice actor food, it's half eaten. I know, right? It's like, imagine if like I made this for you, and I give you a pan of brownies, and chunks taken out of brownie. Pieces of brownie are gone. Like, thank you. So, several of us voice actors always compare stories about this one guy who always brings us food at conventions, and it's half eaten. And we make up stories about why it's half eaten. Like, he was bringing it to the autograph session and he got really hungry while he was standing in line. So he like snuck some for himself. Or that he cut chunks of it out and gave it to other people. Or that he wanted to give me some food, but he also wanted to give Laura Bailey some food, and so he split it up. We don't know why there are chunks missing, but it's just kind of scary. You know, I love you guys, and I am so grateful that you enjoy my work. We get to interact, and that's why I do a lot of conventions, because I like to meet you guys. And you don't want anybody to ever think, I gotcha. You don't want anyone to ever think that you're, you know what I mean, that you're not grateful, or, ew, get that away from me, you know what I mean? I was reading a story the other day about